next we have Sudhir Shetty, who's joined us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Sudhir, what's your question?
My query is, ma'am, related to a redevelopment of a property. My father was a tenant earlier, and now that particular property is going for redevelopment. And due to age and a mutual consent within the family, we are registering that property in the name of my sister. Now, immediately once the property is redeveloped, we want to sell it. The value is not much, about 40 lakhs. So will I be taxable?
Will you have to pay tax, or will your sister have to pay tax?
No, in the sense, once we sell this particular property, will it come under tax?
Will it come under tax?
So I think, Mr. Nagarajan, the question is, okay, you have been tenant of the property earlier, and when you get in the course of redevelopment another property, as we discussed earlier also, then under section 54F, it is deemed that whatever was the proceed of tenancy, you have reinvested in the purchase of house, and therefore that will be exempt. But then you have to hold that house for 3 years, and it has to be, if it is in the meantime gifted to the sister, then the condition of holding it for 3 years will not be met. So your father has to hold it for a period of 3 years post the completion.
No, Suresh, I recall Sudhir speaking to us earlier. He had approached us for legal advice on this particular transaction. And what he had been advised to do was, enter into an agreement with the developer in such a way that the house anyway is transferred in the name of his sister. That is during the redevelopment process itself. So the question is that the flat will now be in his sister's name. And if that is the case, does his sister then have to pay tax if she is going to be selling it as soon as she gets the possession of the property?
So ideally then the way to do it is that you have to say that your father assigned the tenancy right to your sister. So then what happens, the gain which is arising on the surrender of tenancy right, because essentially what is happening when the tenancy right is being surrendered, one is getting a ownership flat in exchange. Now that will arise in the hands of sister only then. And then sister would have reinvested it in the purchase. And in the case of a gift, the period of the previous owner is also counted. So it will be a long-term capital gain. But if the surrender is done by your father, and the investment is done by your sister, then I think we might be caught in a situation whereby the person who has got the capital gain is not the person who is investing. So either you ensure that the tenancy rights are assigned, in favor of your sister, and then she enters into agreement with the developer.
Which is what was advised to me.
So then, but therefore the sort of surrender of tenancy right or the transfer of tenancy right from your father to sister should occur either concurrent or before the entering into the redevelopment agreement. And then therefore the sister is she is surrendering the tenancy right, she is getting the flat in exchange, and therefore she is eligible for exemption. She will have to of course hold it for a period of 3 years. So if she again sells it within 3 years, then it will be again subject to tax.
So essentially, Sudhir, what your sister needs to do is hold this particular flat for 3 years. If not, she will have to pay capital gains tax on that particular transaction. Also, very quickly, Suresh, since what date will her capital gains, will the indexation actually start? Will it start from the date when the transfer actually happens in her name?
No, because this is a case of gift. So in case
how
of
do you
gift,
take the cost of the flat?
So in case of gift, you take the cost to the previous owner. Now if it's a tenancy right, presumably there is no cost. So therefore there may not be any sort of cost to take benefit of the indexation. If it was a purchase, then yes, whatever was the cost to the father. If father acquired the tenancy right and paid a price for it, that will be the cost, and then the benefit of indexation will be available for the entire period, including the period held by which has been held by your father.
Okay, so Sudhir, it's a quite a complicated transaction that you have decided to enter into, and I hope that we've been able to show you, all the intricacies of it. But my advice to you would be this: that you'll be best off consulting with a tax lawyer who can actually explain you on all aspects of this particular transaction. Right? If you do have any other questions, you can, of course, get in touch with us.
You can watch live TV on our website, mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magic Bricks Now.